Welcome to Caribbean Global Network News and Sports. I'm Scott Wilson. In today's headlines, Donald Trump nominates Jamaican-born law professor. And in sports, Danielle Williams eligible for world champions selection. President Donald Trump has nominated a law professor who previously worked as a prosecutor, defense attorney, and journalist to fill the nation's longest federal judiciary vacancy. Trump nominated Richard E. Myers on Wednesday to be a trial judge in the Eastern District of North Carolina. The state's two Republican senators recommended Myers for the job. There has been an Eastern North Carolina judicial vacancy since January 2006, the longest in the country, according to a list from the U.S. Administrative Office of the Courts. Myers was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and grew up in the coastal North Carolina city of Wilmington, where he worked as a newspaper reporter in the early 1990s. Myers got his law degree from the University of North Carolina School of Law in Chapel Hill and is now a professor there. He previously clerked at the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit and was a federal prosecutor in both California and later North Carolina when he worked on white-collar and violent crime cases. British woman strangled set alight in Barbados. The police have launched an investigation into an incident in which a British woman who was strangled, doused with a flammable liquid, and set alight died in hospital. According to reports in the British media, Natalie Critchlow, 40, died on August 6 after suffering 75% burns to her body when an intruder broke into her home on July 28. The assailant also set the house on fire. Critchlow, a mother of three who was born in the town of Bedfordshire, about 30 miles northwest of London, was in Barbados caring for her disabled brother following the deaths of her mother and uncle. British media reported that her family has launched a GoFundMe account for financial help to return her body to the United Kingdom. Deputy Police Commissioner Erwin Boyce said that investigations are at a sensitive stage and an update will be provided. Psychiatric evaluation ordered for 16-year-old boy. A psychiatric evaluation and a social inquiry report have been ordered for the 16-year-old boy accused of slashing a 6-year-old boy in his face and cutting off his penis on August 3 in Whitehorse, St. Thomas. The accused teen was charged this week with wounding with intent and appeared before the St. Thomas Parish Court in Morant Bay yesterday morning. He was remanded until September 2 and booked to appear before the Children's Court in Yallis. It is reported that on the evening of August 3, the father of the 6-year-old boy noticed he was missing and started making inquiries into his whereabouts. The father, having learned that the child was last seen in the company of the teen, went to the accused's home to inquire about his child. On hearing his voice, the 6-year-old called out to his father from the bushes in the yard. He had a wound on his forehead, bruises to his eyes, cut on his hand, and his penis had been amputated. The child was rushed to the Princess Margaret Hospital in Morant Bay and later transferred to the Bustamante Hospital for Children in Kingston, where he's still being treated. And in sports, Danielle Williams eligible for world champ selection. 2015 100-meter world champion Danielle Williams is now eligible for selection for the upcoming IAAF World Athletic Championship slated for Doha in September. The J3A noted also that the 100-meter hurdles race at the National Senior Championships had been ruled null and void, and that Williams' disqualification could therefore not stand, given that the race was never completed and had not been declared null and void. J3A's in its release said their main consideration was fairness to all athletes and compliance with both theirs and IAAF rules. Williams, the number one ranked sprint hurdler this year with a time of 12.32 seconds, was embroiled in controversy following the 100-meter hurdles final at national championships. The sprinter was penalized for a false start but refused to leave the track, forcing a lengthy delay. The J3A initially said Williams would not be considered for selection due to her false start. Synchronized swimmers dominate competition in China. Jamaica's synchronized swimmers participating in this year's Jamaica-China Technical Assistance Project dominated the 2019 Zhuzhou Foreign Language Sports Cup Synchronized Swimming Friendship Competition held recently in China. The good news was given to Jamaica's 9-member delegation who visited the team's training base at the Zhuzhou Sports Center in China on August 13. Members are in China to observe how the participants are progressing under the project. According to one of the Jamaican coaches for the synchronized swimming team, Rochelle Minto-Walker, the team did extremely well at the friendly competition. Minto-Walker said the Jamaican team dominated every category they entered, ending up with 10 gold medals and 1 bronze, with all their scores improving dramatically. The 2019 Juju Foreign Language Sports Cup Synchronized Swimming Friendship Competition, which was held on July 29 and 30, saw the Jamaican team competing against 5 local swimming clubs. The team's Chinese coach hailed the girls for their outstanding performance, noting that he was particularly impressed that the girls were able to achieve the feat after just 1 month of training. That's it for your CGN News and Sports. I'm Scott Wilson. Pleasant viewing.